think personality is defined? I am responsible for my actions, but if you lose yourself, you will be lost. Your character displays what kind of a personality you are. Even the strongest of the person at times is very vulnerable at the bottom. Hello, this is Chetana. I'm an architect by profession, and my company is called Drumataru Consultants. I'm in this profession for the last 20 years. Today we'll be speaking about personality engineering. You must be wondering what personality engineering is all about. We've heard about personality development, we've heard about personality grooming, but what is personality engineering? So first of all, let's understand what personality is all about. Personality is your characteristics, your inborn trait, your inborn reaction to certain situations which you project in front of people, and what you are. That is what your personality is all about. When we meet a few people, we say, oh, they have such a nice personality, they're a very pleasant personality, they are a tough personality. So how do you think personality is defined? Personality is defined by the way you project yourself to the people, you show what you are to the people. Like some people, when you say they have a very pleasant personality, probably they are people who are very warm and nice, they keep smiling, they are always in a very good mood. So we say they have a pleasant personality. Now personality can be defined by various things. It could come because of your cultural background, the way you're brought up, or sometimes it could be situational. First and foremost thing we need to understand is how we need to define ourselves as a personality. What is it that you as a person would like to project to others? How do you want people to see you? In what light you want people to see you? Personality can be formed on different bases. When you're a child, there are a few things which leave a great impact on you. That becomes a turning point where your personality strongly develops on that thought. Or probably as a teenager, there is something which hits you hard, and then your personality develops because you take a strong opinion on that particular thought. You think that this is right and this is what I want to be. Probably somebody has gone through a very bad childhood. They decide that no, I cannot be vulnerable, I cannot be weak, so I'll have to be strong. So whatever they are at the bottom of their heart, they show people that they're very strong, probably by the way they talk, probably by the way they behave, or the tone of their voice is like that they make you feel that they're very strong. When you try and analyze personality, there are different facets to a personality. It could be your traits, it could be your behavior, it could be the presentation which you give people, or it could be sometimes the way you talk. What are the traits that define your personality? Traits can come through your genes, through your background, through your cultural background, through your family background, because that is where your personality shapes up first. We say charity begins at home. So much so your personality also begins at home, because the first people you see are your family members, your parents, your siblings, and they are the ones who create a great impact on your personality. Your parents teach you all the good things in life. They groom you, the morals, the ethics. But how much does this influence you as a person is the key word to forming your personality. Some people, they have a deep-rooted thought that what the parents have taught is the right way. But some people, they think, no, probably this is not right, or probably this is right. What is it? Let me seek it up. So that is how, this is a way that your traits are formed. And some traits are, by virtue of your genes, you display them. Some people keep saying, oh, you're just like an angry young man like your parents or your father. That is because you have something which comes genetically to you. And it gets displayed even if you don't want it, because it is inborn. It's already ingrained in your system. That is where the engineering will come in. That is where you will have to engineer your personality, because certain things come automatically to you. There is a spontaneous response to certain situations that you give. Imagine the situation. As a child, you're in the classroom and your teacher throws a chalk or a pencil to you. The first reaction that you give is to duck down so that you're not hit by the pencil. But there is also one classmate of yours who raises his hand and catches the chalk or catches the pencil. Look at both the reactions. Both are spontaneous reactions, but that is where your personality is defined. That is, one person who ducks it would want to escape the situation, but one person who raises his hand and catches the pencil or the chalk is somebody who wants to fight the situation or get the situation under control. This is how a small act can actually define a personality. You would be wondering, how could this define a personality? Definitely, yes, it defines. Because this is a reaction you have given to a situation. This is the emotion you have displayed. This is what is the thought that crossed your mind at that particular situation. So that is a trait that you display. Next, your behavior. There are people, you say, oh, come on, they're as cool as a cat, and somebody else who's very short-tempered. This is a behavioral trait. The way I respond to a situation may not be the way you respond to a situation. Probably I get irritated very fast, but you wouldn't get irritated very fast. So that is where the behavioral trait comes in. Some people, they master their behavior. They know it is wrong. They know that it is not the way it should be, but they choose to remain quiet. But some, they choose to stand up and say it is wrong because they feel it is the right way to stand up and say that this is right or wrong. But some people choose to be neutral. We have this chalta hai attitude. We say, theek hai na, it's okay, it doesn't concern me. What about it? I need not have to stand up for the truth. But somebody else would say, no, I would stand up for this truth. And if it is wrong, it is wrong. And such people are not liked by anybody because, we call the spade as a spade. And they say, oh, come on, you're so headstrong, you're so upright. And you will also have people in your own common friend circle who would say, come on, why can't you keep quiet? Is it necessary that you speak like this? But yes, it is necessary for that person because that person feels that to stand up for the cause or to stand up for the truth is his personality. So that is his basic behavior and trait, which is ingrained into that person so strongly that the person feels that yes, it is my right to stand up, it is my moral duty to stand up. But the other person thinks that since it does not concern me, it's okay if I let go. Why do I have to land myself into the problem? Let me keep away from it. That's a behavioral trait. That's a behavioral aspect of your personality. Again, how you conduct yourself in a group, how you conduct yourself in a family, how you maintain your relationships in a social circle, all this also matter for a personality. There are quite a few people you can see, behind their backs, quite a few of us can hear people talking. Oh, come on, this is here, he'll be also nice or she'll be also nice. But see her at home, you will see her true colors. You know why it is like that? Because most of the people, they wear a mask. They show one side of their personality, whereas probably their true personality is in contrast with what they show. They may look all nice, they may look very polite, but a situation which can trigger their native nature will project out the true personality. So it's always good that you keep your original self. Do not try and keep complicating things, because if you try and play dual roles, you will never form a strong personality for your own self. Because what are you doing? You're juggling between two things. You are getting situational. You're trying to behave according to the situation, but that is not right. That is not called personality. Personality is something which is always there. It is constant. It is the same in any situation. Your reaction, your virtue, your way of thought process remains the same. It cannot waver just because the situation will demand that you waver. In such case, you will never have a strong personality. A strong personality is the one who can stand up, who can build the character around the personality. Your characteristics, your character displays what kind of a personality you are. You sometimes say that some people are quite hardworking and some are lazy. How do you term that? Because that is their character which they display. I'm just reminded of a small story here. One day, a villager was passing by a lake and a saint was sitting there and he was bleeding from his finger. The villager was quite surprised as to why the saint is bleeding. He decided to stand at a distance and watch what was happening. He saw that when the saint put his hand into the lake, there was a scorpio which came out, which bit the sage, and it still remained there. And what did the sage do? Very nicely, he put the scorpion back into the water. And this was going on for more than 5 minutes. Now the villager was thinking, what kind of a man is this? This scorpio is continuously biting him and this man is continuously saving it. What on earth is happening here? So very curiously, this villager went and asked the saint, "Oh my dear saint, I have been watching you for the last 5 minutes. The scorpion is continuously biting you. But yet what are you doing? You are putting it back into the water. Why not you put it on the ground where it may not be able to survive?" The saint just looked at the villager with compassion and gave a smile. And he said, "The scorpion by nature bites a person. Its personality, its trait is to bite. But my trait is to show compassion. My trait is to save the animal or the reptile or the scorpion." So if the scorpion, which does not have intelligence, does not leave its trait, does not leave its personality, why as a human being am I leaving my trait? As a human being, I am supposed to be compassionate. So I keep my personality of being compassionate. So that is how a personality should be shaped up. This is what the saint said. Scorpion cannot leave its personality. Why as a human I leave my personality? I would continue to do what I do and it continues to do what it does. That is how a personality should be. You cannot change your personality just because of a situation. Now you may question that if somebody comes to bite, should I save it? The moral of the story here is not to leave your personality. Hang on to it. Please keep it for yourself. Because if you try and duplicate your personality, somewhere or the other you will be in a fix. Because suddenly you will realize that even if you are trying to be very nice and very cool and calm, but if there is something which goes against your wish, something that doesn't happen the way you want, you will start reacting in your own way. Your originality will come up, your naturality will come up. So it's better you're always natural. So shape up your personality in such a way that you don't have to maintain a mask or you don't have to wear a mask in such a way that you have a personality for different people in different ways. Because if you're original, you're always original, and a duplicate always remains to be a duplicate. Now we must be thinking, what is it that we do with personality engineering? Why are we not saying personality development here? When we talk of the word engineering, engineering is something which you build, which you construct, which you put a lot of effort, which you try and create. So that is why we say personality engineering. How can you engineer your personality? Or how can you bring about changes in your personality in such a way that you are looked upon as an icon, you are looked upon as a person with virtue, you are looked upon as a strong person with a very, very strong personality. What happens is, sometimes we become vulnerable. How much of a strong you are. There are situations when we become vulnerable. We become so vulnerable that our thought process goes for a toss. What we think goes for a toss. We start behaving in a weird way. And if you look back at it, that why is it that I behaved like that? You would not have an answer. The reason being, some situation, some emotion or some incident has totally shaken you, has totally devoid you of the faith that you carried in you. It happens with everybody, it's but natural. Even the strongest of the person at times is very vulnerable at the bottom. You know, sometimes people are like the crab. The crab has a very hard shell on top. But if you look at the inner side of the crab, it's very, very soft and smooth. So is it with the strong people. How much of a strong they are, at the bottom of the heart, at the pit bottom of their heart, they're very sensitive people. They can be hurt very easily. Now you must be wondering why we are talking about vulnerability to the personality. Your personality becomes vulnerable when you start giving up upon yourself. When you start thinking that, no, I cannot do this. Or probably what I am thinking or the way I am behaving or the way I am conducting myself is wrong. No, my dear friends. There is nothing like a wrong personality or a right personality. What you think, what you believe, what your faith is what should build your personality. Nothing that can deter you should shake your personality in any way. For which you need to keep yourself strong. You need to keep yourself level-headed. You need to stop reacting to situations that can cause a negative effect on your thought process. Keep yourself away from people who are negative, because this will somehow affect your way of behavior. This will, see what happens is, we always say, amongst a bunch of swans, we never want a crow. Why do we say this? Because we do not want one person or one negative person or somebody like the crow. Amongst the beautiful swan, we do not want a black crow. So amongst positive people, we do not want one negative person to come and spoil the entire momentum of the people around. So is it with us. There are people who keep on letting you down all the while, all the time. They keep on telling you, you do this, you do that. Now why do they do this? Do they think we do not know what to do? Or do they think that we are useless and that's why we need their help? No, my dear friends. It is because they are insecure about their own self. They are not sure what to do. So what they do? They keep on advising you, because they know that you are very strong. Just about an hour ago, I was just talking to somebody in the lighter vein. So they were saying, okay, come on, you can contest for a political career. And then I was like, no, I am not interested. Why? Then this man says, a very good friend of ours, he says, आप contest तो कीजिए, हम हैं आपके पीछे. We will do the work and you can just be the figure. Now that somehow triggered a very, very strong emotion out of me. And I know I should have kept quiet. I should have smiled and let it go. But because I said, no, I don't believe in it. If I am to do a particular thing, I am to hold a particular office, I am going to do what I feel is right. Why will I want you to work? If I have taken up a responsibility, I will work for it. I cannot be a namesake. And believe me, the opposite person was zapped. He was like, why is she reacting like this? I also realized that, I could have smiled it off, but then why did I react like that? Because somewhere, strongly inside, I feel that I am accountable for whatever I do. I am responsible for my actions. I am responsible. I am accountable. So when somebody says that you be a namesake, I cannot take it, even in the lighter vein. I'm not able to accept the fact that it's just maybe out of humor. I'm not able to accept that fact because probably I had a past experience that people talk and then they try and put it onto you. They try and rub out their thoughts onto you. So I was just trying to make myself very clear. So that is how our reactions are to situations. That is how we react. Because somewhere deep down, I think I am totally committed to the fact that I am responsible for my own actions. I am responsible for a duty that I take up. I am accountable. I am committed. So that is how your personality is looked upon. Now this man definitely would know that yes, she has a very strong personality which I can never change. I cannot convince her to do something which she never believes in. That is how it should be, my dear friends. Let not people convince you to do something which you yourself are not convinced. If you're not convinced, let's not do it. Why do you have to do it because somebody is convincing you? The biggest aspect that you should believe in is your own conscience. If your conscience says, yes, this is right for me, then it is right. Your inner self, your conscience says, no, this is wrong, then please don't do it. Because somewhere you will start regretting it. Because somewhere you know that you have lost out your thought to somebody else. Somebody has influenced you to do something which you did not want to do in the first place. You just got carried away and you did it. So let not our personality be so weak that we just carried away when somebody convinces us. Not necessary. Your personality is your personality. Keep it for yourself. Whether somebody likes it or somebody doesn't like it, that's their problem. But if you lose yourself, you will be lost. You will not know who the real you is. You will never realize what actually you want. Ask a 5-year-old, you want a car or chocolate? The 5-year-old says chocolate. But ask yourself what you want today. Can you spontaneously say chocolate? No. Because you have multiple things running around you. You have multiple things that you want. But what is it that you strongly want? Are we able to identify today? Are we able to narrow down on it today? No. That is because somewhere we are getting confused. Somewhere we are getting influenced. Somewhere we are getting carried away. So all that I feel is, keep a very strong personality. Let it be built on the foundation of morals. Let it be built on the foundation of virtue. Let it be built on the foundation of self-belief, because that is going to go a long way. That is going to shape you as the person you should be. That is going to shape you into the you, or you yourself, whatever you call yourself, by whichever name you call yourself. But it will shape you into the right human being. It will shape you to be the person you should be, not somebody else. The personality should define you, but it should not derogate you. It should define you as the human being that you are. You should never ever be thought of in a derogatory light. Oh, come on, he's such a weak personality. How does that sound? Very bad, very demeaning, very depressing. And everybody is not going to come and tell you, oh, come on, you're a strong personality or a weak personality. Their behavior towards you itself will tell you how they look at you. Their interactions with you will tell you what they think about you. They will just rub you off. They'll just take you so lightly. Even when you want to contribute to a conversation, they would even never consider listening to you because they feel you're a weak personality. But you have self-belief and with total conviction you prove your point, then nobody can take you easy. Nobody can take you light, because they know you're here to put your point through very strongly because you believe in it. You have a conviction towards it. You're totally convinced by yourself, not by somebody else convincing you. Because unless otherwise I believe in something, how can I vouch for something? How can I think that what somebody says is good for me is good for me? It's as simple as this. What works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. So it's each his own. My personality is mine. Your personality is yours. But let's keep it. Let's not change it for somebody else. Let's not try to become something which people want us to become. Let us be one of those which people would want to become. Let people look up to us. Let people think that yes, this is how it should be. Let a mother think, seeing you, that my daughter or son should be like this. Let a wife think that, yes, I need a husband like this, or let a husband think that I need a wife like this. Because ultimately, we are all bound together by one simple fact, that we belong to the human race. Forget about the genders. Forget about a man or a woman. A personality is independent. Each one has their own personality, whether it's a woman or a man. You need to have a strong personality, because otherwise we would definitely be lost. So that is the most important part, that we always need to be reminded, that we always need to keep reiterating to ourselves, keep telling ourselves that let me be me, not somebody else. Let me be the body which is clothed by me, groomed by me, fed by me, nurtured by me, and loved by me.